Demetrius Johnson was the first ever UFC Flyweight Champion and easily the most dominant. He won the belt by defeating a dangerous Joseph Benavidez by split decision on September 22, 2012. From here, DJ would stand undefeated for almost 7 years and rack up 12 consecutive title defenses before he lost his belt to Henry Cejudo, a man he had previously knocked out. This fight ended in a razor-close split decision victory, marking Cejudo as the second man to ever hold the Flyweight Championship in the UFC. Demetrius Johnson would then be part of the first and only ever trade in UFC history, as he was shipped off to one championship in return for one welterweight champion, Ben Askren, and we all know how that ended up. After defeating Mighty Mouse, Henry Cejudo would defend the belt one time against TJ Dillashaw, where we were forever given the TJ Dillashaw cutting weight inspirational edits. And after that, Henry Cejudo vacated the flyweight belt and defeated Marlon Moraes at bantamweight to become a double weight division champion. He would defend the bantamweight belt against Dominic Cruz before retiring, and then returning and getting destroyed by everyone. The next flyweight champion would be determined in a vacant title fight bout between Deiveson Figueiredo and Joseph Benavidez. Deiveson Figueiredo would have to beat Joseph Benavidez twice to earn himself the official flyweight championship title, because in their first fight for the vacant flyweight belt, he missed weight by 1.5 pounds. Although this fight still went through, and he won dominantly, finding a rear naked choke finish in round 1. In the second fight, 5 months later, Deiveson actually made weight and beat Benavidez again in round 2 via nasty ground and pound, securing the flyweight championship. This brings us to the flyweight quadrilogy between Deiveson Figueiredo and Brandon Moreno. Their first fight ended in a majority draw, so Deiveson kept the belt, but in their second fight exactly 6 months later, Deiveson Figueiredo would lose the flyweight belt for the first time via rear naked choke in round 3 to Brandon Moreno. Their third fight was booked 7 months later at the start of 2022, and the belt once again swapped hands as Deiveson Figueiredo snuck out a close decision victory, claiming the flyweight championship for the second time. Their fourth fight would come almost exactly 1 year after their third fight, as Deiveson Figueiredo was dealing with injuries, and Brandon Moreno, in the meantime, beat Kai Kara France to become interim champion. And for the third time between these two, a new champion was named, as Brandon Moreno defeated Figgy via round 3 doctor stoppage due to an eye injury. Brandon Moreno simply kept the belt warm for 6 months, as UFC flyweight contender Alexandre Pantoja was booked as Moreno's first title defense. Alexandre Pantoja won this fight by an insanely close split decision victory, crowning him as the new flyweight champion. After the insane Figgy vs Moreno quadrilogy, it felt like we would never find a dominant champ in the flyweight division again. But Alexandre Pantoja put on a generational run, putting up 4 title defenses, although in my opinion, he definitely lost to Steve Erceg, until he was matched up for his 5th title defense versus young contender Joshua Van. Van was on a 5-fight win streak going into this fight and impressed the MMA community with his slick boxing and pure athleticism. Unfortunately, we didn't get a fight ending that anyone deserved. In the very first round, Van tripped Pantoja in a clinch position, causing Pantoja to fall awkwardly onto his arm that caused a clear elbow dislocation and the fight to be immediately stopped as Pantoja could not continue. Joshua Van is the new flyweight champion. Now Joshua Van has his first title defense this weekend against Japanese superstar Tatsuro Taira. Personally, I expect this to be an incredibly close fight, with Van having the clear advantage on the feet and Taira having the advantage on the ground. If Van is able to keep this fight standing, utilizing his athleticism to stuff and avoid takedowns, he will find a knockout finish over Taira. But on the opposite side of things, if Taira proves to have the ability to get Van to the ground, he will be able to scramble to Van's back, lock up a body triangle, and find a rear naked choke submission. But what do you guys think? Do you have Joshua Van getting his first title defense, or another belt change of hands with Tatsuro Taira becoming the first ever Japanese UFC champion? Be sure to let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And that is the entire history of the UFC flyweight division. We have had 6 unique champions, with a potential 7th unique champion this weekend. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and that's it.